Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Cape Town Sevens. This one could be match of the tournament. Argentina versus Fiji, two sides that love running the ball, love scoring exciting tries. This one's going to be a barnstormer, and both sides need this win to really feel secure in the group that they are a part of. Now, currently as it sits, they would be playing each other in the quarterfinals. Now, there is a lot that can change. We've still got a few more games up the sleeve of teams before we get to those quarterfinals, but this could be a prelim of a match that we see just a little bit later on. But in the starting lineup for the Argentines, it is going to be Agustin Fraha, Matteo Graziano, Jermaine Schultz, Matthias Ozotsuk, Santiago Alvarez, Tobias Wade, and Gaston Raval. So actually no Marcos Maneta in the starting lineup, instead opting to go with the option of the experience in Raval, and alongside him, few other very handy players for the Fijians. It is going to be Josefa Talatholo, Filippo Bucayaro, Jeremiah Matana, Viwa Nadovalo, Felipe Satoranga, Kiminelli Rasaku, and Josesi Batitarenga. Now, I've been extremely bold in my prediction here, and I've actually predicted that this game will be a 19-all draw going to golden point time, which will then decide who wins it. Now, that is a terrible prediction, I have a feeling, because there would be a very, very, very small chance that that would happen. But we'll see whether or not we do get it right. Hi, Hamish, says Ryan, and I'm back. So welcome back, Ryan. And also, hi, Hamish, again, says Amanis and the chat as well. We have only got the two games remaining, ladies and gents, of today. Of course, this game taking place between Argentina and Fiji, which is just about to get underway, and then South Africa versus Ireland. There's still a lot on the line for these last few contests as the quarterfinals currently sit. Now, this can change very quickly, but it would currently be France versus Canada, Ireland versus New Zealand, South Africa versus Australia, and Argentina versus Fiji. Now, by the end of the games that we have got coming up, I believe we'll have at least 2 or 3 changes in terms of who is playing who. Evening, Hamish from Cape Town. It's been a surprising tournament so far. Says Roof, yeah, there's been a few upsets along the way. Canada beating New Zealand, Samoa being defeated badly by Australia. And then I guess you could almost call Samoa beating New Zealand as an upset as well because of the other results that they had. And hi, all and Hamish, says Robert, welcome in. And Anatika, who has said Morena, Hamish, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing extremely well also. Who do you think is more experienced at the Cape Town Sevens between Fiji and Argentina? I would say that Fiji definitely have that momentum in terms of if you're looking at past results in Cape Town. But Argentina are one of those sides that can cause an upset, as we've seen many times. The team leading at halftime will win this one, says Sean Lees. And also Morning, says Natikahu. So France won themselves a penalty just then in the final moments. Now, Spain were only down by 2 points. They were so close to getting a victory there over the French, and that would have changed the quarterfinals once more. So it just shows how different and how close this Cape Town Sevens competition has been throughout the last little while. But that is going to be the end of that contest, which means Fiji-Argentina is just around the corner. Now, Argentina doing extremely well throughout their first 2 games. And now Fiji looking to do just that as well. They were defeated in their opening contest up against the French. It was a final minute penalty that did end up with them losing by the 3 points. Hopefully Fiji wins, says Ryan in there as well. And yeah, whoever wins, I mean, they've already both secured their spots in the quarterfinals with the way that their group sits. France have got themselves 4 points. Or in fact, sorry, my apologies. Fiji, at the moment, are not completely secure in terms of where they are sitting. Now, I believe they would go through ahead of Great Britain on points differential. So they should be relatively safe here. But I think that they will certainly want to pull off a win up against Argentina just to finish a little bit higher up in those overall rankings. But it is 2 versus 4 on the 7th circuit. For anyone who didn't hear these starting lines, Josefa Talatholo, Filippo Bucayaro, Jeremiah Matana, who's been doing extremely well throughout this Cape Town competition, Viwa Nadovalo, Felipe Satoranga, Kiminelli Rasaku, and also Josesi Batitarenga. Now 50th match here for Luciano Gonzalez. In fact, his 50th tournament. They have got their 125 tries he has been able to score. And I should mention Fiji wearing their away kit, the pink, actually on display here for this game up against Argentina. Their starting lineup: Fraha, Graziano, Jermaine Schultz, Azotsuk, also Alvarez, Tobias Wade, and Gaston Raval. Vamos, lads. Let's go, Argentina. Let's go, Kiwi lads. Says Blues, Nate. And Fiji must win this game to confirm to be in the quarterfinals. They cannot lose, says Manus. Although on the technicality, I think their points differential, depending on the win-loss, would be actually better than New Zealand's as long as they aren't defeated drastically. So I believe that would still put them through. It's whether or not New Zealand would go through ahead of Great Britain or not that is up for grabs. But Fiji will be kicking off this one from right to left. I like both teams' average. They're both tough nuts to crack. Says Roof, they are, and it's a very hard game to predict, which is why I predicted a draw at full time, and then golden point win for Los Pumas is actually what I've gone with. But if it is a draw, I would be more than happy with my prediction. Even if Fiji did manage to win it in the final moments, as long as I get the draw correct, that looks like it is going to be a knock-on against Argentina. Filippo Bucayaro going off to Felipe Saturanga. Now inside ball to Josesi Batitarenga. It's going to be so crucial. The passing game of the Fijians here. Kiminelli Rasaku, some nice attacking run from him. Josefa Talatholo got the offload away to Jeremiah Matana. Argentina's defense doing nicely, but he still manages to find the offload and just driven into touch. Great work from Gaston. Bravo, vamos Pumas, says Ayuka there. And Buller from the Fiji Islands, says Birdie Lee. So a very early morning start for yourself, mate, but hopefully you've been enjoying the Sevens action. Just into touch there for Josefa Talafolo. Time of the morning. I woke up on time for once, says WMS. And to be honest, Cape Town crowd on day one outnumbered Dubai crowds. Says Blues Nate, I'm home from work, needs to relax. Says Aroof. Arizona now gets on Raval to throw it in. Relatively straight. Tobias Wade. Missed tackle from Felipe Saturanga. Tobias Wade making a few extra meters. And the process now going off to this left-hand side. It was Alvarez off to Azutsuk. Gets his offload away on the inside. Back to Alvarez. Ball on the outside. Argentina on hot attack. Felipe Saturanga. He's been beaten again. It's about 3 missed tackles in a row from him. He looks frustrated. Each time Batitarenga tried to clean up the mess. But unfortunately for him, Agustin Fraha just that a little bit too quick and managed to get his way through. And Fiji should be able to win this. A good start for Argentina. Says Manus in the chat as well. And I'm from Kimberley, but live in Johannesburg. When was the last time Fiji didn't make the quarter, says WMS? I think it was near the end of last year's competition. It's actually more recently than you think. I think it was it Vancouver or LA? One of the two, I believe it was, right at the end of last year that Fiji didn't make it through to the quarterfinals. Now Gaston Roval up to kick this one off. And hello, Roof Carter, nice relaxed to the Kiwi Lads commentary. Big gloves, Roof. See the Blues, Nate, not claimed there by Jeremiah Matana. It is a knock on. As Raval for Argentina retired. He is not. He is still there, Gaston Raval. And he has actually become the most capped player of all time in terms of the amount of tournaments he has played. This is his 100th tournament, I believe I saw. So a massive achievement for him. He's done so much for Argentinian rugby in terms of helping develop this side into what it is today. They are now top contenders. And they are proving that each and every week. Now Raval to feed this ball in. Going off to the left-hand side. Nice step from Fraha. The try scorer solid over the ball. Josefa Talatholo does manage to win the penalty. Now, before this match got underway, Fiji versus Argentina was expected as the quarterfinal. Oh, big fin there from Kiminelli Rasaku. Manages to sit down Gaston Raval. Nadovalo receives the offload. And the Fijians strike between the posts to get themselves back into the contest. Marcos Mangos Maneta, says the Blues Nate. I've heard Marcos Money Maneta, but I haven't heard Mango Maneta before. But then saying that, mangoes are very expensive in New Zealand, so they're probably worth more than money in some regards. Thanks, Nate. Everything else is boring compared to Amish's commentary, says Ruth. Now Felipe Saturanga taking his time. He's got to kick this soon. He does not want to be timed out. Why is he waiting so long? Okay, he has now put it over. That is a risk that you do not need to be taking. We look at what happened between New Zealand and Argentina, and it was actually the Kiwis who got timed out for a kick. That was the 2 points difference between them winning and losing. So, Yeah, taking a big risk there. Satoranga, I think he wanted to gain some composure for his side. He was also looking a little bit tired when he was missing those tackles earlier on, so perhaps even just taking a bit of a breath himself, trying to work out how he can fix what was going on. Claimed there by Filippo Bucchiaro, the man with a hat-trick in the last contest. Now, Viva Nadovalo going back across to this left-hand side. Numbers available for Fiji. What a shot. Graziano managing to knock him sideways. They're going back for the knock on what's currency in New Zealand dollars. So we're nice and basic. And yes, says Robert, there's a great shot from Graziano. Pulling the hit in on Jeremiah Matana. They knocked the ball free. 2 minutes remaining in this first half though. Still one game remaining that we are covering on the channel. That is South Africa versus Ireland. That will help determine who is going to be playing who in the quarterfinals. At the moment, the way that it sits, it would be New Zealand versus Ireland, South Africa, Australia, France, Canada, and then also Fiji versus Argentina. But a lot can change depending on how these results go. Gaston Ravol gets a pass off to the short side once again. Joseph Talafolo tries to get over the ball, but he has been penalised. In this case, it's the Hamilton Sevens, the next Sevens tournament in January. I'm not sure, so it is going to be the Perth Sevens. New Zealand no longer have a Sevens league. They did lose it with just there being 8 now. And South Africa is Rand. And the New Zealand dollar says Roof. That one has been kicked into touch by Argentina. Sitting 7-all at the moment. My prediction was a 19-all draw. If that somehow happens, I'd be impressed, but I'd also be kind of scared if I got it completely correct. Like, I feel like a draw without it being 19-all is more likely, but yeah, it would be very impressive. Gaston Ravol throws it in, stolen by Joseph Talatholo. He's got extremely long arms and manages to win those lineouts against the throw quite often. Nice attacking run here from Kiminelli Rasaku. Such a hard man to tackle with his strength. Now Nadovalo goes out wide to Josefa Talatholo. Tackled by Gaston Ravol. They got the offload away. Batita Ringa now on the short side. Azatsuk as well as Graziano. They managed to drive him into touch. I've seen these two teams are neck and neck. And also we have there nothing between them. Yeah, they're always close. Which is why it was such a hard game to try and predict in that preview. I couldn't tell you who was going to win unless it was golden point time. Now 15 seconds remaining in the first half. One line out has gone astray for Argentina. Throughout this match, they do get that one right though. Inside of their 22, loose pass almost gives the opportunity, and it does to Kiminelli Rasaku. And he'll score just before the end of the first half. Mistake from Argentina, not getting that next pass after the line out correct. And Kiminelli Rasaku scores his second in Cape Town and his third of the Sevens circuit. We look at there. I love a ding-dong battle like this. I think 143 people is the most today. Says Ryan there. I believe since you've been on the streams, I think that is the most. I think an earlier one, though, that we did have had around the 200 mark. But it's always appreciated anyone tuning in to these live streams, whether it's day or night where you are. That kick has gone over from Fiji, and that will now make the score 14 points to 7 in favour of the Fijians over Pumas. The second half still to come. And also that game that I mentioned, South Africa Ireland, still to come a little bit later on. That is going to be kicking off in only around 30 minutes time. It's going to be a good game. I can guarantee you that. But there is also a game taking place between Saracens and the Bulls, ladies and gentlemen, for the Champions Cup. Sadly, due to the overlap, we won't be able to cover that game on the channel. But we will be trying our best to do some of the Champions Cup tomorrow, and if we can't, we are going to be doing a lot more next week to make up for games that we did miss this week with the Sevens circuit. But there are a lot of games taking place at the moment. Toulouse playing Cardiff, that game is sitting very one-sided at the moment compared to what a lot of people would have liked to see it sit. Yeah, Bulls Saracens should be a great game. Probably I was going to say the closest game of the weekend, but then I see Toulon versus Exeter. And that's probably going to take that out. I see the Paris and London Sevens is gone. It is now Madrid Sevens in Spain. Says Marnus in there. And Fiji 100. Come on, power it, boys. Says Ruth. So if I was seeing 8 missed tackles from Argentina, so that is really hurting them in terms of their defensive line. Kiminelli Rasaku has been one of the main reasons they've been missing tackles. He's just been powering forward. Let's go, vamos, la Fiji, says Roof. And yeah, these times those are tough again on me, says a Robert. Man dressed, I think that's his Darth Maul. Is that his name from Star Wars? It's either Dark Maul or Darth Maul, I think. A man staring into the camera. And Tosafititoso says Atunaisa. So welcome in. Hope you are doing extremely well. Fiji currently with their 7-point lead heading into the second 7 minutes. And now back in possession, just 22 metres out from their line. A little bit loose, but Kimineli Risaku again is able to clean that ball up. Tackled low by Azatsuk. Still manages to find the offload to Nadolvala with the bounce pass. Should mention Taria Valawa nowhere to be started or nowhere to be seen in the starting lineup here for Fiji. Instead relying on a few of those other players to really be able to step up. Fiji is rushing too much and missing a lot of tackles, says Lazio, although they have only missed half as many tackles as what we saw from the Argentines. Josefa Talatholo, he kicks the ball forward, he's missed that one. And because of it, Argentina will just be able to relieve the pressure. Talatholo almost getting another chance. While you're there, you can say hi to my brother. Gape, says Davida. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And I'll say I'll be a 26-21 to the Pumas, says WMS. And Darth, says Gus. And there as well. I knew it was one of the two, but I haven't actually seen some of the Star Wars movies I haven't seen. So there's a couple changes being made here. As the quarterfinals currently sit, it would be Fiji versus France, Argentina versus Canada, Ireland versus New Zealand, South Africa versus Australia. So like I mentioned, there'll be a few changes that can take place depending on who wins where. Toss of Fiji, boom, neck and neck. Says Rupa now thrown in by the Fijians. Josefa Talatholo taking that one nicely, going back across to this left-hand side. Felipe Saturanga gets the offload away, but it is knocked on by Filippo Bucchiaro. And they will go back for the Argentinian scrum. What do you think who do you think is in the final, says Ryan? I believe it will be South Africa. And to be honest, I think Ireland have a really decent chance in this sevens. I think we could see a rematch of the match that is happening in only about 28 minutes time. Keep that ball in hand, PG and toss of Fiji, says Mimi. And I also got Dan, Darth Mouse, Darth Vader, in the crowds. Dudes, where's my beard? Drunk on your lad, says Blues Nate. Marcos Moneta now making his way onto the field. Fiji having a lot more of the possession throughout this contest. They've made 9 offloads compared to the one of Argentina. But Argentina is still only down by 7. And they've got a chance of being able to fight back here. They do. Get it right, Fiji, says Krishant. Now the ball has been fed in. Penalty won by Argentina. I believe they will... I think they'll opt to go for the touchline, but they have to make sure this ball goes out, or else Fiji will be able to launch an extremely dangerous counter-attack. And strange fans in the crowd, Luke Skywalker. The kick has gone into touch, almost backwards like they've said. Not quite the kick that he would have been after, but it is out. And that was the main thing. We look at there. I don't know why Fiji want to offload every time. Sometimes they need to go through the phases. Says Lazia. It's one of those risk and reward scenarios, isn't it? Because when it doesn't pay off, it costs them. When it does pay off, it can create that try-scoring opportunity. Nicely claimed by Argentina. Gaston Ravol. Now nice step from the man who's recently made his way onto the field in Mari. Now getting over the ball, Filippo Bucchiaro. Not able to do so. Now that's going to be a deliberate knockdown, I believe, from Nadovalu. The referee's saying play on, but it was a clear knock on from Fiji. Marcos Moneta, though, he's decided he's going to go for the chip and chase all by himself. Tries to kick that ball forward. Doesn't manage to, and Fiji have been driven into touch. Now Azutsuk's just asking the touch judge, why wasn't that a knock on by Fiji? If this results in a draw, will Fiji be in the quarters? So if it results in a draw, they actually go to golden point time. So at the moment, Fiji, as long as they win, they will be completely safe. If they don't win, I believe their points differential will still be enough that they go ahead of New Zealand. So they should still be through, and Great Britain would actually take New Zealand's spot if Great Britain were victorious. But it's about a 90% chance Fiji make it through to the quarterfinals as we currently sit. In fact, it's closer to 100%, I would say. There's only like the really, really small technicalities that could keep them out. Line out throw now, claimed by Argentina, taking their time. At line out time, they don't want to rush it. That's a rough pass there to Luciano Gonzalez, cleaned up by Josesi Batitarenga, who now is close to the touchline. Offload away to Filippo Bucayaro. That is why they love an offload. And it is the try out wide. Offload is the nature of Fiji, says Christian. And they are just saying that the coverage is going to be switching from Sky Sport 1 by the sounds of it. So after this game, we will have to switch before that next match between the South Africans and the Irish. Come on, Rugby Rockers, hit that like button, people, please. Boom, Kiwi lads, awesome. See, here's a roof there. Now, chance to line up this kick. It is going to be an extremely hard one. And he has missed. So Fiji have their 19. Now, Argentina, if my score prediction is 100% correct, they will need another 2 tries, one of which not to be converted. And if it goes to golden point and it's 19 all, then I would be 100% correct. Let's see what we can do. Tario Valawa now onto the field. Maniwili Maisama as well for Fiji. So that is going to be some very handy reinforcements into this already strong Fijian lineup. Valawa. Ready to kick this one off, does. Kick it long and high. Argentina take it inside of their 22. Palandini going across the Fraha. Scored the lone try for Argentina thus far in the contest. Loving the crowd here. I feel this is my fam away from fam. And Hamish is our commentating daddy, says Sean Lee's there. I think that's the first time I've been called a commentating daddy on these live streams. We've been doing a lot of them, so I feel like it's a monumental day on the Kiwi Lads channel. We have got there, Merle's got some emojis, and at the lights, beautiful people, the Kiwi Lads. Now 197, and now you were at 200. Says Orion there, but now the line out throw for Argentina just sitting. Side of 40 metres. Out from their line, knock on. Penalty goes the way of Fiji for accidental offside. And Luciano Gonzalez may have actually taken a bit of a knock to the side of the head here. Oh, okay, this was really dumb from a Fijian player. If this is reversed, I think he's cocked a shoulder to the side of the head. So Taria Valawa checking on him to see if he's okay. So he had that ball. Was a knock on. Yeah. That's going to be a yellow card, I believe, for Batitarenga. I think I've had too much wine, or have I? Says Sean Lees. Yeah, they're saying both dipping. Still head on shoulder. I think this is going to be probably at least... Oh, I don't know if this is going to be a yellow card or not. I think it will be for Batitarenga, though. And this gives Argentina half a chance at the end of this game to get back into it. Fiji are warriors, superb commentary, Kiwi Lad, Smile Amish is here. Says a Ruth in there as well. Big decision to be made by the TMOs. You got 200 again. Says Ryan there. He was ducking, but he's still gone 2 upright. Head on neck is the contact. I think this is going to be a yellow card. Normally they are a little bit more strict in the sevens. Oh. Okay, this is actually going to be a red card for Josesi Batitarenga. That is massive. And we've got a gifted membership from Robert as well. Thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated. Said feed the algorithm. And now how many minutes remain? It is going to be 1 minute 15 remaining. And that now means Batitarenga, I believe, will be missing from the next contest for Fiji, which is a shame because he has been a very handy player. How many minutes remaining? Still 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. But I think pretty unlucky to get the red there. I would have said yellow maximum. But now Argentina, they need 2 tries and red card board. So it was head-on-head contact, they said. It was after the knock-on had happened. Luciano Gonzalez hanging on to the ball and Batitarenga got him kind of right on the neck. But now Argentina looking a little bit panicked here. That is going to be a relatively high tackle made. That is going to be another penalty for Argentina, who now go for the kick in behind. It was a risky tackle or risky tactic, I should say, from Marcos Moneta. And now they have to get that ball straight back, which they have been unable to do so, and Moneta's offside. That might just be the game. Argentina opting to go for those risky tactics. And please, Fiji, says UNK. And thank you, Robert Vale, says Gus. And there as well. So it is going to be the scrum. This will use up the rest of the time, or at least a majority of the time left on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. I see you're not doing the next game between Great Britain and USA. Says Marnus. That is correct. So the next one that we are covering on the channel, though, will be taking place between none other than South Africa and Ireland. So that is going to be an absolutely awesome game. When it takes place, go Fiji. And no problem, Gus, says Robert. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it does mean that Fiji have confirmed their spot through to the next stage. I don't know why they've opted to kick that one rather than just hanging on to it for one more second. Now Argentina have one last attacking chance to get a bit closer in this contest. Now, nice step out wide from Fraha. Can they appeal red cards on tournament day? I'm not sure if they can, to be honest. It's going to be another penalty against Fiji. They have to be careful not to get another yellow card here. And good morning from Melbourne, says Akhtar, welcome in. Very early morning for you, Melbourne. Luciano Gonzalez, though. This will be an extra bonus point for the Argentines, and it may actually change who is playing who for the next stage. Passed out wide for the corner. They will score it, and Germain Schultz. In fact, no, sorry. It will be Graziano who does score the try right in the closing moments for the Argentinians. So that will give them the bonus point in that group. That'll be interesting to see what that does to that pool. Like they said, Batita Ringa, more of the talking point in this contest of whether he will be there for the next contest, but that will be the full-time score, ladies and gents. 19 points to 12. The Fijians getting themselves the victory very well in this contest. Up against a tough Pumas side. These two sides, I believe there is still a small chance that they could meet in the next stage, but it is extremely marginal compared to at the start of this contest. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, the next live stream that we have got is South Africa versus Ireland. That is going to be in about 18 minutes time or so, so be sure to check that one out. Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all for the next one.